Okay. So, hi everyone. My name is Alicia. I'm from CVENT and I'll be the project manager for the 37th International Seating Symposium. Here we'll talk about the exhibitor training as to how to create your profile and add content, complete all the tasks, assign booth staff, and get into the meetings. So I've got my colleague Diksha here, who's going to take you through the steps and the features that are there. She's going to take you through a presentation which has a detailed discussion on how to upload documents and how to complete the tasks. And then she's going to also give you a demo. And in case you have any questions regarding any of the features, you can reach out to us. We can have maybe sort of a Q&A towards the end of it in case you have any questions. And, we'll be sending out the recording as well. Even after that you have any questions, you can reach out to Barry or Joe, and we will be able to help you with the answer. Great. So I think, Barry, is it okay if we start?
Yeah, I think you can go ahead and start. It seems to have slowed down a little bit, and anyone that joins later can also watch the recorded link too. So
Definitely, yes. So over to you, Diksha. The stage is yours.
Thank you, Alicia. Hello, everyone. My name is Diksha. I work as an assistant project manager in CVENT, and I'm here to walk you through your exhibitor training. I would be going ahead and discussing how do we go ahead and log into the exhibitor portal. We'll learn how do you manage your profile, how do you complete the required tasks, where do you go to do that, and how do you prepare yourself for the virtual booth, where do you get the virtual booth URL, how do you access your leads, and we'll learn about some best practices. On the completion of the slide, I'm going to go ahead and show you the demo of how you log in and where do you locate your exhibitor profile and where do you go to complete your task. So you don't have to worry about that. Along with it, like Alicia already mentioned, we'd be sending you a copy of this PowerPoint presentation deck along with a copy of this recording, so you can always refer back to it. Now, while I go ahead and take your training, if you have any questions, feel free to post it in the chat. I'll keep an eye there, or you can stop me whenever you want. Now, before we proceed, I'd like to explain a couple of terms that I'd be using every now and then so that you're familiar with them. First is exhibitor portal. This is the basic platform wherein you as an exhibitor, your admins will be managing their virtual booth. For example, they'd be editing your profile, uploading the logo, adding content for the attendees, and accessing and managing the entire page. Now, Attendee Hub is the portal wherein your attendees would be logged in to see the video content that you share with them. Booth staff are your team members associated to your exhibitor profile. For all attendees to see, these are the people, your team members, who help you with one-on-one meetings with your attendees. Now, there is a Zoom link that would be provided to you when event approaches. You don't have to worry about that. That's the Zoom link that you'd be going ahead and using to go ahead and join your session. Now, how do we log into the exhibitor portal? You would be getting an email invitation to go ahead and log into the exhibitor portal. If you're not able to do so, you have this link here. You'd be sent this link. You can click on this link and try to log in. Whenever you log in for the first time, just remember that, first time, just enter your first name, last name, and click on forget password. You can go ahead and, set a password for yourself, customize a password for yourself. I see there is something on the chat. Just give me 1 minute. Of course, we are going to go ahead and send the PowerPoint presentation copy to everyone. So Lisa, you would be getting one as well. Don't worry. Now, moving on, when you go ahead and log into your exhibitor portal, the first page that you see, I've taken a snapshot from your event. Your event name would appear here right on the top. The tiles that you see on the screen, this is the first homepage that you're going to see. The tiles that you see right here is same as the information that you see here. For example, what I meant is if you click on exhibitor profile here, or else if you go to the left-hand corner and click on exhibitor profile, it would direct you to the same page. So don't confuse yourself. The only difference in the tiles here and the things that I mentioned here is reports. You do not see a report tile here, but you see reports here. From here, you can go ahead and pull out the reports, and I'll be explaining that in our upcoming slides. Are we good so far? Do we have any questions? Okay, I'll take that as a no. Now, first, we'll learn, we are required to complete some of the tasks which would be assigned to you. We always advise all the exhibitors that you complete your task by the deadline, or if there's any specified date that you have to complete the task by, make sure that you do that. Otherwise, there would be an overdue bill that would be appearing in red. So if you don't want that, just finish your task, by the deadline. How do you manage your profile? So when you go to the home page, like I explained here, and if you click on exhibitor profile, or else if you go in the left-hand corner and click on exhibitor profile, this is the page that you'd be routed to. Right? You have two options here. First, profile and content. We'll speak about profile first. Here is a place where you can go ahead and add your address for your exhibitor profile. You can add information like your office phone number, your mobile phone number. You can add web links. And if as soon as you add any Instagram link or Facebook link, it would start appearing on the front end below your exhibitor profile name. So also don't worry if you go ahead and leave anything blank here, because if you leave anything blank, it would not appear on the front end as blank. The only information that you fill in here would appear on the front end. You can also add a tagline to, attract attendees and, encourage engagement with the attendees. The next part is, after you've managed your profile, the next part is content. Do we have any questions before I proceed to content? Great, I'll take that as a no and proceed to content. So as soon as you click on this content part, this is the page that you see. Now, when you click on add content, you can add your documents, you can upload videos. And if you're looking at my screen, you'd be seeing a couple of formats. Don't stress on that, because as soon as you add you click on add documents, these size recommendation, these formats would pop up. It would be right there. So this is not something that you have to memorize and keep in mind. It would be right there in front of you. You just have to click on content, just reiterating myself. You just have to click on content, add document, upload video, or you can create links as well.
Deeksha, real quick, I just want to remind everyone, if you have a question, you can type it into the chat. You can do it as private, or you can do it for everyone to see, and then they'll address the question as they go. Sorry, Deeksha, thank you.
You're welcome, that's okay. Moving on, you do have an option wherein you can assign a booth staff. Now, there's something very important that I'm going to tell you. If you're planning to assign a booth staff, make sure that they are registered for the event in order to appear in your search. All right, so this is the major difference between an admin who's been managing the exhibitor profile and a booth staff, is that the booth staff needs to be registered for the event so that you can search them by their confirmation number or their email, and their name would be appearing here. I'll be showing you in the demo how do you add your booth staff. And if you want to add an additional admin, I'm going to show you how do you do that. Do we have any questions? I do not see anything on the chat, so shall I take that as a no? Okay. So again, we are back to the tiles on the home page. You're seeing a couple of tiles that says lead qualification questions. See your lead as they come in. Now, you as a virtual exhibitor would get access to your leads. You just have to go to the left-hand navigation menu and select lead collection. Or from the home page, you can just click here, leads collected. From here, you'll get the option. Now, how does a lead generate? On the front end of the attendee hub, whenever someone clicks on Meet Now and submits their information, as soon as they go ahead and click on the Contact Us tab and enter their information, a lead is generated for you. But there's something very, very important that you should keep in mind. When you go ahead and click on leads collected, from here you get the direct option, you see all your leads. However, when you go ahead and go to the left-hand corner, the sections that I showed you earlier, and if you go ahead and go to lead collection from there, you'd see two additional options, which is lead qualification questions and lead capture settings. Do not go to these options, because these options are only utilized in the in-person part of the event. That's not for virtual exhibitors. I see a chat. Just give me 1 minute. Yes, of course. So it seems that Rebecca has 2 booths and she has only received login information for Quantum. We can go ahead and look into that, and we'd go ahead and send you. She wants another second login for Pride. So we will go ahead and address that later. Is that okay, Alicia?
Sure,
All right.
I'll take a note of it. Thank you.
Perfect. So before I proceed further, do we have any questions on the slides or the snapshot that you see in front of you? Great. All right, I'll take it as a no and then I'll proceed. So when I showed you the sections here, let me point out one more thing before I proceed to reports. You see lead collection here. This is the icon that I was talking about. So if you click on this option, you get 2 additional options. Do not click on that. Those are lead qualifying questions that are for in-person part of the event. So do not click on that. Also, what you can do is you can go ahead and pull up a report. This report provides a list of the attendees who have engaged with your attendee hub, along with the contact details for those attendees. So if they have visited your profile, if they have engaged in any way with your exhibitor portal, everything would reflect in this report. And you can collect the report directly from this section. Right? Now I'll go ahead and show you the demo, and then we'll go ahead and discuss the virtual best practices. But before, let me show you something. 1 minute, please. Can you guys see my screen now?
No, yes. Yes.
Great. So I have logged in as Alicia. So her name appears here. I see the same tiles that I showed you in the snapshot. Now, let me show you something. Here on the tile, if I click on exhibitor profile and click on finish profile, I'd be routed to the same page, wherein I'd get an option to upload my company logo. I'll get an option. If you want, you can add a booth banner. These are the basic things that you can do to go ahead and attract the engagement of the attendees in your exhibitor profile. You have the exhibitor information. Now you get virtual meeting URLs and your host links lies here. Right? So all the booth staffs would be logging in using the virtual meeting URL. You'd be provided with the separate URLs. You don't have to worry about that. It's just for a good to know information that you'd be getting all the booth staffs would be logging into the exhibitor portal through virtual meeting URL, and you as an admin would be logging into the portal through the host key so that you get the hosting preferences. All right. Now let me go ahead and move up. Go back. Now you see 2 parts here, profile and content. I was talking about this information. You can go ahead and add your address. You can go ahead and click on edit. Let me go ahead and do that. 1 minute, please. You see options here on the right-hand corner. You click on edit profile. Once you click on edit profile, you're directed to the same page. So when clicking on the tile, you're directly routed to this page. But when you click on the left-hand side navigation, you're first taken to profile and content part. You can choose whichever part you want to go first. And then you can go ahead and you'll come to the same page. I have gone ahead and discussed this page. Now, whatever change that you make, I know it's very basic, but some of us forget this, even I do. So make sure that any change that you make on the right-hand corner in the bottom, you see save option. Do not forget to save your information. Otherwise, it won't reflect on the front end. Now, let's go back. We've discussed profile. Now, we'll go to the content part. Here, you see the option add content. When you click on the drop down, like I mentioned earlier, when you click add documents, you see the size recommendation on the format here that says the file must be less than 20 MB and all the formats. So it's right there. You don't have to memorize it. And same thing is with the video uploads as well. Any questions we have so far on this section? Great. So I have this part tasks here. So the next option that we go to is task. There's no task assigned as of now for this particular exhibitor profile. So I'm good now. But as soon as a task is assigned, this is the place where you go to complete your task. And like I said, finish all your tasks by the deadline date. The deadline date would also come up when you click on this task option. And if you do not complete it by the deadline date, it should show you that your task is overdue. Now,
quick question. Is there a way to preview what you're doing before you publish it?
So whatever profile that you're creating, once you save it, so the only way to go ahead and see something is by saving everything. Unless you don't save it, you won't be able to see it on the front end. So yeah, the changes directly apply to the front end. Correct me if I'm wrong, Alicia.
Yep, that's correct. So if you have the Attendee Hub link, you can go ahead and, since the Attendee Hub is live, you can see how your profile is looking, if the documents are uploaded, and if the logos appear fine. So Attendee Hub is where you go and check. Does that answer your question?
Yes.
Perfect.
Great. Now, next, do we have any other question apart from that? Okay, so we'll go to team next. And here is where you add your booth staff. Like I mentioned earlier, I understand that I'm reiterating, but I don't want you guys to forget this, that your booth staff should be registered in the event to be added as a booth staff. Number of documents you can upload, yes, the maximum limit is 50. I hope that's sufficient. You might have tasks in your exhibitor profile if your admin assigns you one. So you just keep looking on the task. If maybe you might have a task to complete your exhibitor profile or upload something, tasks like this. So you might have a task eventually. This is something that you or your exhibitor profile admins decide. Does that answer your question? Okay, great. So here's where we were talking about team, and here's where you go ahead and add your booth staff. How do you do it? On the screen, right-hand corner, you just get an option of adding a booth staff. You just click on that. You get the option to search attendee list. That is why I was mentioning it to you, that you need to register your booth staff to the event to find their name in the attendee list. You can type their name, their email address, their confirmation number, search for them, and they would be there. I am not registered for the event, but let me try to search Alicia. I think she's already added as a booth staff. That is why her name doesn't appear. But let me try if it appears again. Okay, so we learned something new. If the booth staff is already added, you can't add them again. Their name does not appear. Because you can see Alicia is added as a booth staff already. But what you can do is, if an admin is added here, you can add another admin. Just click on the right hand. I hope you guys got that. I have a question. Do we register the booth staff as attendees? As attendees. Okay, great. So just click on add admin on the right hand corner of the screen. When you go ahead and click on add admin, just I'll write my name and add myself as another admin. Just click on add admin and when you go ahead and click on this add admin button, you get options to add multiple admins, more than one. Let's just close the window. As soon as you add the person's name, on the right hand in the bottom section, you see send invitation. As soon as you click send invitation, that person would be receiving an email and their name would be added as an admin. So for this exhibitor profile, I am an admin now. Do we have any questions here? Okay, great. Next, I was talking about lead collection. Now, this is the part that you're concerned as a virtual exhibitor. Oh, I have a question. 1 minute, please. So the question is, should the staff for the virtual event be different from the live event? It's more or less the same. Alicia, would you like to take that question?
Yes, it can be the same person, but if it's a virtual event, we would like to have them on the profile. So you can go ahead and add them as a booth staff, and it should be more than one, since we'll be having one-on-one meetings. So make sure each exhibitor has more than one booth staff assigned to their profile.
So Sandy, I wanted to address Sandy's question. I think she's asking, do they have to be at the in-person exhibit to be a staff for the virtual? And the answer to that is no, they do not. It could be someone in the office. Correct me if I'm wrong, Alicia, but you could assign someone that's back in the office, not on site, that could be manning the virtual event.
Yes, right? That's correct. Yes, yes.
I'm more, what is the timing? Is the virtual event overlapping the live event? I mean, we're spending most of our product specialist to the live event.
Yeah, Sandy, it'll be the same hours. So when the live event is open, the virtual event will be open. This would be a good time for you, Sandy, if you have questions that you could set up a meeting. And I think they will cover that. Deeksha will probably cover that in a minute, that you could request a meeting for someone. And then when you have those slow times during the in-person event, maybe it's a good time to catch up virtually too.
Okay.
Great. So do we have any more questions apart from that? Great. I'll move on to lead collection. Now, this is the part that I was talking about. As a virtual exhibitor, you'll be focusing on this part. Please avoid this two section. This is not for you guys. This is for in-person exhibitors or in-person part of the event. So do not focus on this. You'll just get all the information of the lead collected here. And the last part is reports. When you click on reports, here is where it would route you to the reports section, and you get all the information about the attendees, the way they have engaged your exhibitor profile, and the way they have gone ahead and engaged themselves on the attendee hub. Now we have another question in the chat. If we don't have anyone available to cover the whole time for the virtual expo, will there be an option to have an automated message saying when we will have someone in the virtual booth? So we would not have that. What you can do is, Alicia, correct me if I'm wrong, you can maybe on your exhibitor profile write a description about the timings of the virtual booth. Would that work in their favor, or anything else that you want to add here?
What they can do is, when there are meetings going to happen, the booth staff can set themselves as unavailable. So then in that case, the attendees won't be able to set up a meeting or, reach out to you. So when the booth staff, when you're there, you just check in and then it shows available. And then that's when the attendees will be able to connect with the booth staff and, have a meeting or chat with them.
They could, though, Alicia, maybe send an email or schedule a meeting, correct?
Send an email for a meeting. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, they could. If someone's not available virtually, then you could turn off all your meetings, but they could request a meeting through
Yes, that's correct. So in our event, we're having one-on-one meetings. So the exhibitor booth staff will be able to connect with the attendees one-on-one. When the booth staff checks in to the exhibitor profile, they show as available, and that's when the attendees can, take up a meeting they can send a request to the booth staff to have a meeting, to schedule a meeting. But that's real time. So if I'm sending, for example, if Deeksha is the booth staff, if I'm sending her a request, if she's available, she will accept it then and there, and that's when the meeting is going to happen. You can't schedule it for a later time. That you can't do.
Okay, and the next question is, what is the deadline for having all the virtual booth info entered? Have we decided on a deadline yet?
Barry, do you want to take this?
Yeah, I don't think we have. We're going to make it as close to the actual event date that we can, because we know you guys, it's holidays coming up, and we know you guys have a lot of other things going on. So we'll discuss that. Once we establish when it has to be in, then we'll send out an email to let everyone know this is when your virtual booth has to be completed.
Great, and we have a follow-up question, it seems, on the previous question, that the Candy attendees that visit while we are away leave a message for us to contact them once we return. So yes, go ahead, Alicia.
In the exhibitor chat, they can send you a message on the exhibitor chat, and you can come back and reach out to them.
Great, I hope that answers all your questions, or do we have more?
Sorry. Also, there's also the contact us button in case they want to, get in touch with you, ask about the products, so they can sort of leave their name, phone number, email address, and then, you can run a report and see how many people reached out, and then you can reach out to them.
Just for everybody's clarifications, 50. I understand sometimes 50 or 15 sounds the same. So yes, the limit is 50 for all the documents that you upload. All right. Great. So that answers all the question. We have talked about report. We have talked about lead collection, how to add a booth staff, how to add an admin, how to go ahead and visit your exhibitor profile, how to manage tasks. Now I'm going to go ahead and show you the front end and show you how do you go ahead and operate the Meet Now option. For that, I'll just stop sharing my screen and give me 1 more minute for me to go ahead and show you the front end. Okay.
Alicia, while Diksha is doing
Take
that,
questions.
I just wanted to clarify, the 50 limit is for digital files. There is a limit on videos, correct?
There is, I believe, let me just quickly check. Yes, but the 50 limit is for the documents,
Right.
the PDFs or the PPTs if you're uploading.
Yeah.
Let me just check on the videos one.
So that is a good question, Barry. For the video part, I'll just go ahead and check because I do not want to give any number. So let's go ahead and verify that and we'll go ahead and get back to you on this, if that's okay. Great. So let me try to log in real quick. I'll show you how do I log in as well. So your event looks amazing to me. I have the information here where you type, this is the front end and I'm logging in to the front end in front of you guys. So I'm going to use Alicia's credential and you are not supposed to use anybody else's credentials. Always use yours just to show you guys. And with her permission, I'm going to enter her details. I'll get her name. So here you enter your first name, your last name, and the email address with which you registered for the event, right? And then you go ahead and click on next. You will receive a verification code and your email address with which you registered for the event. Let me go ahead and pull up the verification code. 1 minute, please.
I've sent it on the chat, Diksha. It'll be easier.
Yes, thank you. And I've got it as well. Just copying it. And then I log in. As soon as I log in, I go ahead and see the front end. Now I'll just wait, give it a couple of minutes. It's pretty slow, it seems. Yeah, we'll just go to the expo part. When you go ahead and click on expo part, you see exhibitors here. Just click on exhibitors part. And do we have meet now option? Let me go ahead and check if we have meet now option. Let me go ahead and pull up the option here. I do not see meet now option conflict.
If you go to CVENT Exhibitor, maybe,
Event. Okay, great. I was wondering if we have it on CVENT or not. That's great. So you just scroll down, it appears alphabetically, and I'm just searching for CVENT. Here we are. This is just for demo, guys. And you see this event, we have not added any information here. We just added, just gone ahead and added names for you guys to see. Now you see your name appearing on the right-hand corner as a booth staff. You just have to click here to check in. Once you go ahead and check in, you show as available. You can stay on the page, test your audio, update your profile, and you'll be good to go. You have several options to do here. Now we'll focus on the Meet Now option that you see on the right-hand corner. Is everybody able to see my screen? Great. So when we go ahead and click on Meet Now option, I would just have to close my video from here. Maybe just give me 1 minute. Okay, let me go ahead and fix that. My profile is hidden right now. That's why I'm not able to go ahead and see the Meet Now option. Just give me 1 minute. Let me go ahead and explain you what happens. When you go ahead and click on Meet Now option, a Zoom screen appears like the Zoom that you are in right now. You do get at the bottom, you do get the option to mute yourself or unmute yourself, put you on camera or put your camera off. You do get the option right below. It's like any other, it's a mini version of a Zoom meeting that we are in right now. Okay, so meanwhile, can I answer any questions? Okay, it seems we do not have any question. Do you have any question about the Meet Now option?
So the same rules apply for this as any Zoom meeting. You're going to need to make sure that your microphone and your cameras are working. That's the one caveat to all this.
Yes, correct. So as soon as you click on Meet Now option, there is a small screen, a black screen appears. It's like the Zoom meeting that we are on in. It's on similar lines. You will get a mute option and a video on and off option right at the bottom, where you can switch on your video or switch off your video. Just make sure that your microphone is working and your camera is working and you follow all the best practices. I'm going to go ahead and share the best practices that you can follow virtually. Just give me 1 minute and let me share my screen.
Sorry, I just want to add here something. So we're going for one-on-one meetings. It is going to be an embedded experience. So it is not going to take you to another window like it does in a Zoom meeting, but the experience is going to be similar to Zoom. So on the attendee hub, we are going to, there's going to be sort of a meeting opening on the same window, wherein there's going to be the exhibitor and there's going to be the attendee. So it's more or less like Zoom. You can control your video, your audio. There would be those icons there, but just to confirm, it's not going to be on Zoom, and it's not going to take you to another window.
Thank you for that. So on this same screen, wherein you go ahead and see your attendee hub, let me open your attendee hub. This is the front end. So as soon as you click on Meet Now option, you will see that black window appearing right here where your exhibitor profile is. Correct, Alicia? That's what you meant? So what I meant is, as soon as you click on Meet Now option, you would not be directed to another window. Right here on your screen, you'd go ahead and see that black window option appearing like a Zoom meeting. So it's not exactly a Zoom meeting, but yes, on similar lines.
It's similar, yes, correct.
Perfect. So we'll go to virtual best practices. We have gone ahead and covered a lot of virtual best practices while I was going ahead and taking you through the demo. First is we appreciate or we encourage you to add a company or booth logo so that the attendees can relate to your exhibitor profile. You can add a virtual booth banner to increase attendees engagement. You can go ahead and develop a game day plan. What it means is, like we were discussing before, what you can do is you can go ahead and maybe write a description of you can actually gauge the event and make sure which time is it most, is the busiest time, has the heaviest traffic, and then go ahead and address your attendees. However, since you're already going on one-on-one meeting with the attendees, make sure that you have a booth staff available at all times. Or if you don't want the booth staff to be available at all times, you can maybe add on the description that, these are the booth hours. Oh, okay. We had a question. What is the current attendee registration percentage, virtual versus live event? Oh, okay. We already have the answer. Thank you for that, Barry. You've already answered the question for us. So this is everything that I had for you guys today. Let me go ahead. Do you have any question that I can assist with? If you guys do not have any questions, then we go ahead and come to an end of it. And I thank everyone for joining in today.
Diksha, we did have a couple of questions there at the end.
Oh, of course, of course.
Let's see, one question. I can't see the chat. Oh, there it is. So is there a limit to how many booth staff members can have logged in at one time?
There's no such limit. You can have more than 2-3 booth staff added to the account, and they all can be available for meeting at one point.
And then the next question is, if our virtual booth staff is in a one-to-one meeting, what do other visitors to the virtual booth do? Do they request a meeting and wait?
Yeah, so that's why we say more than one booth staff is recommended. So in case I'm in a meeting with Diksha and Diksha is the booth staff, then the other booth staff could either wait, or if there are more attendees, they can have a meeting with the other booth staff.
And then to Ian, we will have Wi-Fi in the hall, and it should be enough to cover, the bandwidth should be enough to cover any meetings. Now, if you have a meeting that you're going to set up on your own, then we would recommend that you get your own private connection hardwire. But for the Wi-Fi, I think we should be good for the virtual meetings.
Yeah. So for
Yeah,
virtual meetings,
I would also like to say that if you're doing a sales meeting and you have confidential information, you definitely want to get your own Wi-Fi through
Yeah.
the convention center so that you can have some protection related to that information.
Yeah.
Anything wireless, as we all know, that can be a bit interesting. So,
And Sandy, yes, that is complimentary Wi-Fi. And then Sky had the question, is there a regular chat feature as well on the video chat? I believe there is, right, Alicia?
that's a good question. I think there is. Otherwise, there's a exhibitor chat feature. So if not the virtual meeting, in the virtual meeting, there definitely is a chat feature
Okay.
in the exhibitor. So on the right, like Diksha is presenting, there's a chat feature. If you click on it, there's a chat box opening, which isn't open yet. Of course, we're out of the booth staff hours right now, but of course on the day of the event, it will be there. And yep, you can chat with the exhibitors, send emojis if you wish to. Yeah, just for fun purposes.
Just
can
to
you
add,
all,
yeah, go ahead, Barry.
I was just going to ask, you can schedule a virtual meeting as well, correct?
No, so you cannot. So for example, right now it's 10:38. I cannot schedule a meeting for, let's say, 11:30. What I can do is I can come back at 11:30 and see if any of the booth staff is available, and then I can request, just send in a meeting request, and if they accept it in real time at that very moment, there's a new chat box, sorry, a new video chat sort of a thing which opens up, and then you can, have the meeting.
Great. So Alicia, adding to your information, when you click on chat, make sure you'll get a pop-up that will say join the chat, join a chat. When you click on that, it's then that you'll be able to see all the chat. Now let me go ahead and click on Meet Now option that we were talking about and try to see if it works now. So it seems that we have to log in again. 1 minute, please. I'm not getting that option right now, but this is where, like I said, this is where you go ahead and go for Meet Now option, and this is where you go ahead and chat with your attendees. Any other question we have today? Yeah, we have one more, it seems. Will there be technical support available during the virtual event in case there are questions? Of course. So you would always have a CVENT support staff team guiding you. If you have any questions, if there is your audio visual is not working, you'd be guided throughout. You would be taken through AV checks as well. Correct me if I'm wrong, Alicia.
Correct.
Perfect. Any other question that we have?
And if you guys think of any questions after the meeting, direct them to me, and then I can get with Alicia and Diksha and get those answered for you.
Yes, so of course you can always go ahead and ask as many questions as you want. We want you guys to be clear and clear with everything. You can reach out to your planners with all the list of questions, and they would love to answer them.
Perfect. I think I just want to remind all the virtual exhibitors that you will see.
Thank each and every one for taking your time out.
Oops, I think we should
Joining us today.
Okay, I don't know, Diksha, if you can hear me, your internet's a bit shaky, so let me just add quickly at this point for all the virtual exhibitors. If you see on your exhibitor profile, if you see lead capture license, I would request all of you to ignore that, as that is for the in-person exhibitors, and that has nothing to do with virtual exhibitors. So you can, just imagine that it's not there. So,
Thank you for covering that, Alicia.
No problem. Yeah, so after this meeting, Barry, I'll be sending you the recording and the presentation. Feel free to share it with all the exhibitors, and if they have any questions, we're happy to help.
Great. Thank you, guys, and thank you everyone for attending. And again, if you have any questions, just let us know and we'll get you an answer.
Sounds great. Thank you.
Everyone for joining in.
Deeksha and Alicia, thank you. We appreciate it a lot. I think it helped a lot.
Thank you,
You're
Barry. It
welcome.
was great. Great. Everybody's saying thank you. So thank you, everyone, once again.
All right. Thank you.
Take care.
Bye.
Thank you.